let's talk about Halo campaign evolved. This is the Pickle Tree. So I just played Campaign Evolved on the 23rd. I did a 24-hour live stream that I didn't plan to be 24 hours. My goal was to simply beat the game and the included 3 prequel missions that they added, all on Legendary, um, on my first playthrough of this remade game. And I had a great time. I think everything was absolutely fantastic. I have zero complaints about it. I think it was great. Like I have no notes. I have no notes on anything about it. I think like yeah, okay, it was a remake of the first game again, but it's not like a retexture like Halo CE Anniversary was, right? This is built from the ground up on probably the best game engine out there, which is Unreal Engine 5. And it adds a few more things and different behaviors and new enemy types that were not in the original game. So honestly, from my experience as someone who has actually played the game from beginning to end on the hardest difficulty ever, yeah, this is a remake. This isn't just a cash grab like people want to say, like, oh, you just remade the same game again. Why do I have to pay $70? No, it's a pretty much a whole new game, just telling the same story that we all already know. But that's the thing. There's also cutscenes that are completely remade to include little details and extra tidbits that we didn't get in the original. There were things going on around the maps and the worlds and the levels that we normally didn't get to see that I think are great additions to the game. I think that new weapons in the game are cool. Now, one thing that I did notice in my first playthrough is that not all of the new weapons are in the main story. A lot of the new weapons are um in the new prequel missions. There are some new weapons, but not everything. The biggest one being the needle rifle, which whatever. Like that is a cool weapon. I enjoy that weapon a lot, and I think it would have been really useful in the main campaign, but it's only in the prequel missions. Don't know why. But I didn't. Maybe I missed them, but I didn't encounter any needle rifles in the main story. Regardless, um, I think it was a fantastic game. I think the prequel missions were fun, but they took place on my least favorite missions of oh yeah. Yo. I'm recording a podcast, Brady. Hi. Hello, you're on the pickle tree. How you doing? Yeah, the pickle tree. Yeah, yeah, we're finally back. This is the second episode of the Pickle Tree Regrown. You just interrupted a whole entire thing where I was talking about campaign evolved. Shut the fuck up. Hey, check out this. Check out that stream. You're gonna be there for the launch on the 28th tomorrow. Yeah, right. We're gonna be playing tomorrow. Shit. Well, I guess keep your eye out on our. I do. I do. I mean, It's random. It's random. But do you mind if I continue the podcast and then get back to you? Because I'm talking about a lot of spoilers and stuff, and I don't want to spoil it for you. Cool. Will do, man. Will do. You have a good one. So that was my friend Brady. He is featured in a lot of my live streams. So check me out on twitch.tv/Tovar is awesome. I would greatly appreciate that. Um, yeah, we're gonna be streaming the campaign in co-op mode very soon. But yeah, um, I think that the game is 100% worth it. That's what I was getting at. I could go on and on for hours talking about it. I mean, it took me 24 hours to beat the game on Legendary, and I think that's a huge achievement for me personally. I don't care if the world record of beating the game is way faster, especially on Legendary, and yeah, if you go and look at my playthrough, which is currently a VOD on Twitch, I want to try to start uploading my VODs to YouTube for people, to be able to watch them. But if you watch, there's a lot of times that I am struggling where I am getting stuck on missions and getting stuck with enemies and bosses and certain rooms with enemy spawns and everything like that. So it does get difficult, and I think that going through that challenge, not giving up, even though I really wanted to in the beginning, um, is a huge achievement for me, especially since the way that I was introduced to Halo was only going over to my cousin's house where they would give me the extra controller. Every gamer who has started out, especially if you're a family member or a younger family member or a family member that doesn't really play games that is given a controller, you know what the extra controller is. And yeah, like I eventually got the original Xbox with Halo 2 and I tried to beat that campaign on easy. It took me years to beat Tartarus, or as I like to call him, Tartar Sauce. And it was a huge achievement for me to even beat that game on easy to get to this point where I can beat the first game in 24 hours solo on Legendary. Especially with how the game was completely remade, it was like I was relearning it. I've played Halo CE many times before to get certain achievements, especially the anniversary edition. I and Master Chief Collection when it was bundled with that. I played it many times. I love Halo CE, and playing this new version of it was literally like playing a whole new game. So let me tell you that it's not necessarily just a re-release of the same game. It's a brand new game just telling the same story in a whole new way that, yeah, sure, if you're only there for the story, then I guess don't even bother. Watch someone else play it. But if you want to experience playing a game that is slightly more difficult with a little bit more newer mechanics and newer weapons and everything, different ways to play with, I think it's like 42 or 43 new skulls that they added, then go for it. But a lot of people are complaining about the lack of multiplayer. Sure, they could add multiplayer, guys. They could add multiplayer, but really, at the end of the day, who the fuck cares? Halo Infinite multiplayer is already out there. And last I checked, it's pretty dead. Maybe it's going to revise now because a lot of people are like, oh, well, there's no multiplayer for this new Halo, but I haven't played Halo in a while and I miss the multiplayer. Let me get Halo Infinite multiplayer because that's free to play. And let me get back into that. Because honestly, um, Halo Infinite multiplayer deserved a lot more. Their Forge is insane. You can make some crazy maps. And the multiplayer was genuinely fun. The abilities and stuff are a little strange and whatnot, but overall, the multiplayer is really genuinely fun. I just haven't played in a long time because I just kind of fell out of Halo. And Halo Campaign Evolved kind of got me back into it, but in the story, where I'm focused on the story, whereas the multiplayer feels like such a separate entity that I'm not really super interested in, especially with battle passes, limited time events, expecting me to just throw every other game and every other thing in my life out the window to focus on grinding for this one piece of armor that only works with one frame and yada yada yada. I know they've updated it. It's been a while since I played. Maybe I'll give it another chance. Maybe. But it's not fun without friends, and not really many people want to play it. But friends who grew up playing Halo with you, like my friends Brady and Alden, who are prominent um guests in my live streams. Um, I met Alden through Halo Reach years ago, and we've been friends ever since. And I can't wait for this studio to be remaking Halo Reach. Are they going to remake the multiplayer? Maybe, but the story was great too. And I hope they have as many ass shots as they did in the original Halo Reach, if not more. Like, honestly. Um, I guess we can get into the most like controversial topic right now and why a lot of people are just hating on this game without even trying it themselves. The game isn't even officially released yet. As you heard, the game releases officially tomorrow. If you got the Super Duper Ultra Deluxe Premium Edition with all the extra cool skins for Master Chief that you don't even get to see unless you get the third person skull, or your friends get to see it if they even get the game themselves and play with you. It's just like, yeah, you got to play on the 23rd, which I was very happy that I got to play it early. I'm very happy, and that's because all this content is being released complaining about one character that in my personal playthrough, because I actually played the game. And there are other people and these content creators claiming that they played the game and whatnot themselves and whatnot. Cool. Okay. But please explain to me why people are saying that a game overall is so bad that they are not interested in playing it or getting it. A lot of people are focusing on this one character named Williams. And I'll just play this video real quick by another creator. Luckily, his tag is in the video because it's from TikTok. I'm not sending any hate or bashing or anything like that. I'm just voicing my own opinion, and this is one video that kind of sums up what a huge portion of the Halo community is upset about with her. So let's take a look.
I'm Lieutenant Williams, Tiger Company.
You don't seem as impressed as the rest of your crew.
No, Sergeant Major, I'm not. Takes more than fancy armor and a good PR campaign to impress me. Not bad, Spartan.
I'm almost starting to believe the propaganda.
Nice work.
Thanks. Spartans aren't the only badasses in the UNSC.
Okay, so we have that video, right? Explain to me what the issue is, please. Like, spoiler warning, I guess, for anybody who hasn't played the game or whatever. You should have thought about that before you clicked on a 30-minute video talking about Campaign Evolved. If you didn't want spoilers, don't click on a 30-minute video talking about it. I guess I'll put spoiler warning in the title, but it should be just common sense at this point. But please explain to me the issue. I get it. She's obnoxious. She's an absolute heel of a character, right? The people who are deep in the lore, deep into the lore, are complaining about the timelines and everything like that. Cool. Whatever. Okay. But from my understanding, this whole entire podcast and this whole entire thing is not to state genuine facts, right? This is just me voicing my opinion, sharing my perspective. Okay? So don't get all butthurt if I get things inaccurate here, right? But from my understanding and what I remember of the Halo lore is that ODSTs basically looked at the Spartan program and they're like, damn, that's fucked up. What came out of it, and they were like, damn, they're just giving these children steroids. We're actually working hard for this shit, and these people just get some fancy armor and some, performance enhancing drugs, and now they're super soldiers that everybody loves when we're the actual soldiers, we're the actual fighters. It was a whole entire power trip thing. And I feel like this issue with this character is a masculinity issue more than an actual issue with the character. I would love to find more diversity in the hate towards this character, because all I've been seeing is a lot of chud men that are insecure about one character not being like, oh my god, it's the Master Chief. Oh, he'll save us because he's the coolest fucking character ever. Oh my god. Why? Why do we need everybody to have that? God forbid we have somebody that is not on the Covenant side in our ranks that does not like us. And that has happened before. There's a bunch of characters in the books, in the comics, in the media, all different formats of how Halo's story is told. There are characters that do not like Spartans, even after many years. Just like there are still people that are all about the KKK in 2026. Okay? There are still going to be people that are going to be judgmental everywhere. Everywhere. And it's going to exist forever. It's not like, oh, Spartans are actually cool. I guess everybody loves them. No, dude, there's going to be characters that are not going to still not believe in the propaganda, not like the propaganda of the Spartans and being like, they're just a bunch of fucking super soldiers just raging against the Covenant. We're actually stronger, That's the vibe I got from her. And yeah, she was obnoxious. And she also didn't do shit. The AI characters that like Johnson and Williams, they provided some help, but most of the time I just baited them. And then they died, and then I'm like, oh, well, I guess I have to clean up the pieces because Johnson, with his fucking railgun, can't shoot a goddamn sniper jackal before I can. Like, fuck. Or, help me with these hunters or something. Johnson, do something. That was mostly what you heard in the beginning portion of my stream, because I started chronologically. I started with the bonus missions, and then I went on to the main campaign. And, please explain to me the issue of why this one character is such a big issue, because I've been seeing a lot of people just complain about the fact that it's a woman and throwing things out there like, oh, it's Hollywood. That joke from South Park that put a woman in it and make her gay, give her a woman boss, woman power or whatever. I didn't get that vibe from this. I get that vibe from a lot of different things. Okay, one of my favorite friendships basically ended because my friend became very radically feminist and thought that the only reason why I didn't want to see the new Ghostbusters all-female cast film was because they were all women and I was a man. No, that's not it at all. It's just I don't like the actors, and just from the trailer alone, I could tell that the same quality of comedy that is in all these actors' previous films is going to be consistent. It's going to be the same level and amount of comedy, which is none. I don't find those actors funny. So, like, is the actress who played her an issue? What is the issue? Because I do so much research, and all I can find are the same chuds that just can't handle a woman being the center of attention on a game that doesn't have her wearing basically nothing at all, but still being the most powerful fucking character. If it's her being a woman, then just admit that you have some security issues and masculinity issues, and you can't handle a woman being better than a man. I'm not saying that the character is even better. She's just cool. She was a cool character. She sacrificed herself. She died. So, again, a character that's only in, like, 1.5, 2.5 missions, barely in the game at all. And we're going to go all out on hating her and saying we shouldn't support this entire game because this character that barely had any time in it is just obnoxious and doesn't like us. Like, that has to sound like the most insecure bullshit ever, dude. Like, that's the kind of people that are like, hey, I don't want to hang out with you and your friends because that one guy said a thing that I don't like. I know it's going to be a whole party and everything, and everyone's going to be there, dude, but, like, that one guy, you know, I know he's going to be hanging out by the pool, and I usually like to hang out in the basement, getting high and playing video games. So we're going to be, like, on opposite sides of the whole property. But if he's going to be within a 500-mile radius, dude, I go to your party. No ill feelings, bro. Fuck you. Like, honestly, fuck you, dude. Why does it matter? Why does it matter? Can we look at a game as a whole, and can we actually give it a fucking chance? If you can't afford it, no big deal. I get it. $70 to $100, depending on what edition that you want to get, is a lot. And for me, it was a gamble because, yeah, Halo 4 was okay, but not the best. Halo 5 is hot trash. That's why we don't even have it on PC in any format other than the multiplayer private lobbies that nobody barely even knows about and is buggy to all shit because they haven't updated it. And then Halo Infinite was cool, but we barely understand what is going on between those three because you need to know the extended universe and shit. This game was just a gamble, right? It was a huge gamble, especially on my rig. My computer setup doesn't even meet the minimum requirements. For me to be able to play the game at a solid, like, 40 to 58 frames per second on low settings, but still be blown away by all the updated graphics and everything and how everything ran. Yeah, my frames were inconsistent. Sometimes it would go down to 30 if there was a lot of shit happening, but only for a split second. The average frame rate was 40 to 58 frames per second on a game that came out with a 30 frame per second 720p, maybe average quality, right? When it first came out. So why are we complaining about the frame rate? Why are we complaining about all that? Yeah, sure, it's not optimized, but that's what happens. Games come out that are not really optimized. You look at the minimum requirements of some of these games that are out today, yeah, your PC probably isn't going to run it. And I took a gamble and I was like, I'm close enough. It should run okay. I played early before the official release on the 23rd. Okay, usually games come out these days, and I get it. Games should come out perfect. They should just wait in development and everything until they get it right. They have a bunch of money to test it out and all that shit. Cool. We can't control that. And what we are doing to control that is the same thing that people do when they don't tip their waiter or bartender. When they don't leave a tip that is trying to stick it to men. Oh, they shouldn't have to live off of tips. They should be getting their actual salary. So I'm not going to tip to support the man and blah, 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 blah. Whatever fucking excuse, dude. At the end of the day, you're just a douchebag, right? This is probably going to sound like nonsense to people. Don't have an open mind and are just set in their ways. I can already hear so many people being like, oh, this video is too long. He doesn't make any sense. He's just going around in circles. The bottom line is that if you're served a plate of food and you just look at it and say, oh, the peas are touching the mashed potatoes and, the meat kind of looks funny. I'm not going to even eat this. I'm not even going to try it. I'm not even going to taste it. I don't even want to look at it anymore. Can I be excused? Or can I get something else? No, you can't get something else. That's what you got. Deal with it. Okay? Deal with it. My point is, the point earlier is that maybe there's a patch that's going to come out that's going to optimize it more. Wait a little bit, and maybe it's going to become more optimized with more systems, more different builds, playing the game, sending in reports, and then they could be like, okay, so on this guy's build with these specs, this is the issue. Let's fix this for them so we know that issue, because over here in our studio, we don't have that rig. We don't have that exact rig. Playtesting? Cool. Yeah, sure. You could do playtesting, but most of the people that get accepted into those playtestings are very big name people who can afford really high-end rigs. We need a wider audience to test it out, send in reports, and then get the bugs fixed for their specific rigs. I guarantee this game is going to be better optimized for my system probably within a month or two, if not sooner, honestly. Just like going to bed without dinner because you refuse to even try it just because the peas are touching the mashed potatoes. This is the game that you're served. If you don't want to play it because of whatever reason you have, fine. Go for it. Don't play it. But if you have played it and you've given it a solid chance, actually played more than just a couple missions and only checked out the new stuff and did only this or did only that, actually gave a thorough chance, right? Then I would trust your opinion a lot more, right? I would trust your opinion a lot more. And there's a lot of big name content creators that all share a similar feeling about this game, right? Cool. Have your opinions, but let others have their opinions, because there are so many people that are jumping on the bandwagon of, oh, this guy is really popular and he knows his shit. He knows deep about the Halo lore and all that. I like his opinion, and I haven't even played the game. I haven't even seen these cutscenes, so I'm going to go with him. I'm going to steal his opinion. It just ruins it for you, man, because you never know. It's like that kid that's like, oh, Fred, my best friend's allergic to peanuts. Maybe I'm allergic to peanuts too, so I'm going to avoid peanuts. And it turns out that you were never allergic the whole time. I could go on in circles and circles about this all day, but we are out of time. If you have any questions, if whatever you're listening to this on has an option to leave a comment, go ahead and leave a comment. Maybe with a timestamp to help me remember what I said. This is all improv and everything. But yeah, I would love to hear what you guys think. Ask any questions. Feel free to contact me on my other social media, which you can find on tovarisawesome.com. Would appreciate if you guys could join that and go onto there to find all my other social media. And also join my Discord, discord.gg, the cult of Tovar. We have movie nights every Thursday, and we just constantly hang out, and I record my podcast live. So if you want to be a random guest on the podcast, like Brady was in this one, go ahead and join up. I would love to hear from you. But yeah, that's my opinion, and you can take it or leave it. At the end of the day, perception is reality, and I like my reality. So, love you guys. I don't know how to say goodbye. I really don't know how to do outros, man. I don't like saying goodbyes. If I could do this 24/7, I would have you guys with me 24/7, but I can't. So, bye bye. Thank you for watching the Pickle Tree.